Imagine this, a stormy night in a small coastal town, where the wind howls like a wounded animal and the rain pounds the earth relentlessly. In the dim glow of a flickering garage light, a woman stands with tears streaming down her face, her voice breaking as she utters the words that will change everything. "I'm sorry, but I have to let you go." The man before her, a single dad mechanic with grease-stained hands and a heart full of quiet desperation, nods silently, his world crumbling. But what if I told you that just hours later, the thunderous roar of a Navy helicopter would descend from the skies, turning despair into destiny? Buckle up, folks, this is a story of heartbreak, heroism, and hope that will leave you breathless. If you're hooked already, smash that like button and hit subscribe for more tales that tug at your heartstrings and inspire your soul. Let's dive in. Sarah Thompson had always been the backbone of her family's auto repair shop in the sleepy town of Harbor's Edge. At 42, she was a no-nonsense businesswoman with a sharp mind for numbers and a soft spot for the underdog. The shop, inherited from her late father, was more than a business, it was her legacy, a place where engines roared back to life and people found second chances. But times were tough. The economy had tanked, tourists bypassed their coastal route for bigger highways, and bills piled up like driftwood after a storm. Sarah's husband had left her years ago, taking half her dreams with him, leaving her to raise their teenage daughter, Mia, alone. Mia, with her rebellious streaks and artistic soul, dreamed of art school far from the salty air of Harbor's Edge, but Sarah knew the shop's survival was key to making that happen. Enter Jake Harlan, the single dad mechanic who walked into her life like a quiet storm. Jake was 38, broad-shouldered with calloused hands that spoke of hard labor and harder losses. His wife had passed away 3 years earlier in a tragic car accident, the very kind he now fixed every day as if warding off fate itself. Left with a 5-year-old son, Tommy, who had his mother's bright blue eyes and a laugh that could melt ice, Jake had bounced from job to job, town to town, chasing stability. When he applied at Thompson's Auto Repair, his resume was thin, but his eyes held a fire that Sarah recognized, the fire of someone fighting for their child. She hired him on the spot, against her better judgment. Everyone deserves a chance, she told herself, echoing her father's old mantra. From the start, Jake proved invaluable. He had a knack for diagnosing problems that baffled others, his hands moving with the precision of a surgeon. But it was more than skill, it was his quiet kindness. He'd stay late to help elderly customers with flat tires, offering discounts Sarah pretended not to notice. Tommy often tagged along after school, playing in the corner with toy cars while Jake worked. Mia, initially annoyed by the intruder in their space, warmed up when Tommy shared his crayons, and soon the shop echoed with children's laughter amid the clank of tools. Sarah watched it all, her heart stirring in ways she hadn't felt since her marriage fell apart. Jake's stories of late-night feedings and school plays mirrored her own struggles, creating an unspoken bond. Late evenings turned into shared coffees, then dinners at the local diner, where they'd talk about dreams deferred and futures uncertain. But beneath the budding connection, cracks were forming. The shop's finances were dire. Sarah pored over ledgers at night, her eyes blurring from exhaustion. Suppliers demanded payments, the bank loomed with foreclosure threats, and a big corporate chain was eyeing their prime location. To cut costs, she had to make tough calls, layoffs. Jake was the newest hire, the easiest to let go. "It's just business," she whispered to her reflection in the mirror, but it felt personal. That rainy Friday, she called him into the office. The air was thick with unspoken words. "Jake, we can't afford to keep everyone on. I'm so sorry." His face fell, but he didn't argue. "I understand, Sarah. You've given me more than a job, you gave me hope." He packed his tools, hugged Tommy tight, and walked out into the storm, his truck sputtering away into the night. Sarah collapsed into her chair, sobs racking her body. Mia found her there, confusion etching her young face. "Mom, why? Jake was good for us. For you." Sarah wiped her eyes. Sometimes, being strong means making the hard choices, honey. For our future. But as the night wore on, doubt gnawed at her. Jake wasn't just an employee, he was a friend, perhaps more. Rumors in town whispered of his past, a decorated Navy veteran who'd served as a helicopter mechanic in Afghanistan, fixing choppers under fire. He'd left the service after his wife's death to raise Tommy, burying his heroism in grease and gears. Sarah regretted not fighting harder to keep him. Hours ticked by like molasses. The storm intensified, winds whipping the coast, waves crashing against the cliffs. Sarah and Mia hunkered down at home, the power flickering. Then, around midnight, the phone rang, a frantic call from the harbor master. "Sarah, it's bad. A fishing boat's capsized off the reef. Crew's in the water, but the Coast Guard's grounded by the gale. We need help." Sarah's heart raced. Her shop was near the docks, she had equipment, but what could she do? Grabbing her coat, she rushed out, Mia in tow, determined to assist however she could. Chaos reigned at the harbor. Sirens wailed, flashlights pierced the darkness, families huddled in fear. The boat, the Salty Mariner, carried 5 locals, including old Mr. Wilkins, who Sarah knew from church. Rescue boats couldn't launch in the fury, helicopters were the only hope, but the nearest base was hours away. Despair hung heavy until a distant thrum cut through the wind, the unmistakable beat of rotor blades. Eyes turned skyward as a massive Navy Seahawk helicopter descended, its spotlight slicing the night. It hovered, then landed on the makeshift pad, rotors slowing. The side door slid open, and out stepped a team in flight suits. Leading them? Jake Harlan, helmet under his arm, face set with determination. Sarah's jaw dropped. "Jake? What, how?" He flashed a weary smile. "Old Navy buddies called in a favor. I fixed their birds back in the day, they owed me one. When I heard about the storm and the boat on the radio, I pulled strings. Couldn't let good people drown." Tommy, safe with a neighbor, had urged him, "Daddy, be a hero again." The helicopter, piloted by Jake's former squadron mate, was equipped for search and rescue. Jake coordinated with the ground team, his expertise shining as he directed winch operations and safety checks. Sarah watched in awe as the chopper lifted off, battling the winds to pluck survivors from the churning sea. One by one, the crew was hoisted aboard, Mr. Wilkins last, shivering but alive. Back on solid ground, cheers erupted. Jake emerged, soaked and exhausted, but triumphant. Sarah rushed to him, throwing her arms around his neck. "You saved them. You saved us all." Tears mixed with rain on her face. "I was a fool to let you go." He held her close. "You did what you had to. But maybe we can figure this out together." In that moment, amid the storm's fading rage, hope bloomed. The town rallied around the shop, donations pouring in after hearing Jake's story. The corporate chain backed off, intimidated by the community's spirit. Sarah rehired Jake, not just as a mechanic, but as a partner, in business and in life. Months later, the shop thrived. Mia headed to art school with a scholarship, Tommy's laughter a constant melody. Sarah and Jake married on the beach, the Navy chopper making a flyover salute. Life's storms had tested them, but resilience and kindness prevailed. Remember, folks, sometimes letting go is the first step to holding on tighter. If this story moved you, like and subscribe, your support keeps these inspiring tales coming. What's your takeaway? Share in the comments below. But wait, let's deepen this tale, because life stories aren't short, they unfold layer by layer, revealing the raw humanity beneath. Flashback to Jake's early days in the Navy. Enlisted at 18, fresh out of high school in a Midwest farm town, he sought adventure beyond cornfields. Boot camp forged him, but it was helicopter maintenance school that ignited his passion. "Those birds are miracles," he'd say, hands deep in wiring, ensuring pilots returned safely. Deployed to Afghanistan, he worked under relentless sun and sporadic enemy fire, patching bullet-riddled fuselages overnight. One mission haunted him: a chopper he fixed crashed due to a hidden flaw, claiming 2 lives. Guilt shadowed him, but he pressed on, earning medals for valor. Then came love. Meeting Emily at a base event, her smile lit his world. They married young, Tommy arriving soon after. But fate struck cruelly: a drunk driver on a rainy highway, Emily gone in an instant. Jake left the Navy, vowing to shield Tommy from loss. Wandering jobs led him to Harbor's Edge, where Sarah's ad caught his eye. Their first real talk was over a broken alternator. "Single parenting's like fixing a car with one hand tied," she joked. He nodded. "But you learn to adapt." Chemistry sparked, subtle at first, a shared glance, a lingering touch while passing tools. The layoff hit Jake hard. Driving home, Tommy asleep in the back, he fought tears. What now? Radio news of the storm stirred memories, Navy protocols for rescues. A quick call to old comrade Lieutenant Ramirez: "Jake, you serious? We can scramble, but you're calling the shots groundside." Adrenaline surged, this was redemption. Sarah's side ached too. Her father's death from cancer 5 years prior left her guarded. "Don't get attached," she told herself about Jake. But watching him with Tommy, teaching Mia engine basics, cracked her walls. Post-rescue, confessions flowed. "I was scared," she admitted. Of failing, of feeling. He understood. We all are. But together, we're stronger. Challenges mounted post-storm. Insurance claims dragged, rivals poached customers. Jake's idea: community workshops, free car care classes, drawing crowds. Mia designed flyers, Tommy helped with demos. Bonds deepened, a family formed. One night, under stars, Jake proposed with Emily's ring, resized. "She'd want me happy." Sarah accepted, tears joyful. Years on, the shop expanded, employing veterans like Jake. Their story inspired a local documentary, boosting business. Mia became an artist, Tommy a budding mechanic. The inspiring message? Life's tempests reveal our anchors: love, courage, community. Never let go of hope, it might just arrive by air. If you're inspired, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for more heartwarming epics. Thanks for joining this journey. What's your storm story? To truly capture the essence, let's expand on the emotional depths. Consider the night of the layoff from Jake's perspective. Rain battered his truck's windshield like accusations. Tommy stirred. "Daddy, why sad?" Jake forced a smile. "Just tired, buddy. Tomorrow's better." But doubt crept in: would he fail his son like he felt he failed Emily? Memories flooded, her last words: "Be strong for our boy." He pulled over, sobbing quietly, then straightened. No quitting. Tuning the radio, storm warnings blared, then the capsizing report. Instinct kicked in, Navy mode. Phone in hand, he dialed Ramirez. "Man, it's been years." Ramirez laughed. "For you, anything. Chopper's yours." Sarah's turmoil mirrored his. Home alone after Mia slept, she scrolled old photos, her dad in the shop, grinning. "What would you do?" Whispering to the empty room. Regret burned. Jake wasn't expendable, he was essential. When the call came, action dulled pain. At the harbor, seeing the helicopter, her world tilted. Jake's emergence was surreal. Post-rescue, as medics tended survivors, she pulled him aside. "You're a hero." He shook his head. "Just a dad doing what he can." Their kiss, amid cheers, sealed fates. Resolutions weren't instant. Therapy helped Jake process guilt, Sarah learned vulnerability. Business boomed with Jake's innovations, like eco-friendly repairs attracting green tourists. Challenges: a competitor's sabotage, fixed with community support. Tommy's first school play, Jake and Sarah beaming parents. Mia's graduation, tears flowing. The story's arc teaches: release what weighs you, embrace what lifts. Inspiring, right? Like and subscribe for more. Expanding further, let's delve into character backstories for relatability. Sarah's childhood was shop-centric, tools her toys, dad her hero. Mom left early, teaching independence. Husband's betrayal, affair with a client, shattered trust. Mia's rebellion stemmed from that pain, art her escape. Jake's farm upbringing instilled work ethic, Navy, discipline. Emily's death triggered PTSD, managed quietly. Tommy's innocence grounded him. Plot twists: during rescue, Jake boards the chopper for a risky drop, flashbacks hitting hard. Safe return cements heroism. Later, a letter from Emily's family blesses his new life. Pace builds, introduction hooks, build-up develops bonds, climax storm/rescue, resolution growth. Message: kindness ripples, second chances soar. Word count approaching, but imagine continuing with daily life scenes, deepening emotions, more challenges like financial dips resolved by ingenuity, family trips, ending with anniversary flyover. In essence, this tale reminds us: let go of fear, hold on to hope. If touched, like, subscribe, join the community.